What's up guys, Dude's Corner here. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to advance off of beginner's method on 3x3. First off, I would recommend that you would not use this cube anymore, the original Rubik's cube. I would recommend you use some form of budget cube, like a budget 3x3, or some form of speed cube, because that'll help you. You don't need to get an expensive cube, just some form of a better cube. This cube is the Shang-Chi Mr. M, and for me, it works pretty well. If you want to buy it, it's pretty cheap. You can get it off pretty much any cubing website. Now, before I begin, I just want to real quick say something, is that if you are starting off of beginner's method, this tutorial will be helpful for you. If you are using some way high advanced method, this tutorial is not going to be helpful for you. This is really off just for stepping right off of beginner's tutorial, and you wanna come a lot faster. And this particular method is going to be helpful for my beginner's method that I taught on my channel. If you want to see the tutorial on those, that link will be down in the description for that tutorial. If you are using some form of different beginner's tutorial, that's fine. Some of these algorithms still could be helpful for you, just not probably all of them. So if you want to learn my form of beginner's tutorial, link is in the description once again, and then all of this will be helpful for you. So the first thing that you're going to want to learn for advancing off of beginner's method is learning how to build the white cross without putting all the white edges onto yellow center. There are lots of ways you can actually do this because there are a lot of cases, but you're really just going to have to learn how to do this intuitively, and I'm going to kind of help you with learning how to do that. So the way you're going to want to easily remember is that orange opposite of red and green's opposite of blue. This will really help you when you're building your edges. So as I can tell, I have one white edge here, one here, one here, and one here. So the first thing that I can do is I can move this white-red edge on top here. Now, what I could do is I could rotate this up to here, but I have to remember that red is opposite of orange. So because of that, I'm going to want to hold red in the back. That way I can move orange up into here. Then from there, I can also notice I have blue here, and I can go ahead and line it underneath its center, and then turn it twice. Then I have the green edge right here, and now what I could do is I could line it up underneath and then turn it like this, and then move this out of the way like that. But an easier way is to actually just, where it originally was, would be to just rotate it. So that's on here. This does knock an edge out, but that's okay. Then move this edge onto white center, and then bring this down just like that. Now, like I said before, there are a lot of these cases, and you're really just going to have to practice on just doing them on your own in order to get better at it. So I'm going to show you one more case, just a basic case that you can have, and then we'll go from there. So as we can tell, we have this red edge here, and what you might think is, okay, go ahead and just insert it in like this. So you could do that, but you want to do as the lowest amount of moves as possible. So what I would do is I'd actually rotate it the opposite way so we get this orange edge lined up. Because it was down here, now we're lining it up to be put in. And we have the blue edge right here, so as soon as we rotate this orange edge here, this blue one's already lined up. So if I do it here, these two are in the right position. And then we have red here, red edge here. And now we also have this green edge here. Now you might just think, okay, so let's just go ahead and move this out of the way, rotate the red edge in. But instead, what we can do is we can actually rotate this green one in first. So because green belongs up here, we can rotate green to this side, bring it in. And then we just rotate the top and then insert the red edge. And as you can see, the white cross is done. Now, I realize that was probably really quick and probably really confusing, but you really are just going to have to figure this out on your own. No matter how many tutorials you look up or anything like that, they're really all just going to tell you you have to figure out this step on your own. There's a lot of cases, but whatever way you get the white cross to be solved without having to put it onto yellow center means you're good. So just keep practicing solving the white cross. You can even just solve it, then break it up, and then resolve it again. Just keep working with it, and eventually you'll be able to solve this every time while speed solving. Now, when we finish the white cross, normally what we will do is we will solve the corners next. Well, an easy way to already start out with having a quarter is when there's already one where it belongs. Now, this step can get a little bit confusing, and if this is really too confusing for you, you really don't need to use this trick. So, for instance, we already have this corner solved here. There are a lot of cases, so I'm just going to show you a few. So, for instance, we have this corner here, and normally what we'll do to finish the cross is we'll turn this twice, but that knocks this corner out, and then you have to re-put it in, which can take a lot more moves. So instead, what we can do is we can actually just go ahead and move this out of the way. That way, when we turn the blue edge up, it doesn't take this corner out. So then we can insert it and then bring this down, and then we still preserve this corner while inserting this edge. Now there's more times where you can have the corner already lined up here with this edge, and then the edge right here already lined up and ready. So normally what we would do is, we would insert this in here, but then as soon as we go to insert here, we'll take the corner out. So then we would have to do what we did before. So honestly, this step can get a little bit difficult on noticing whether or not you have it. So I would really just recommend noticing if you have the corner and deciding whether or not it's worth preserving it. Because there are a lot of cases that you can have on this, and no matter how many tutorials you look up, this is really something intuitive that you have to just practice on your own. Now, you might be wondering, okay, so all of this is just intuitive. When are we getting into the algorithms and all that? Well, we'll get to that. But for now, I'm just saying that if, for the first layer, it's really all just intuitive, and you really do have to do it on your own. Now, for solving the next layer, there is really no faster way for inserting these, so you're just going to have to do it how we would before. So just our regular algorithm, and then it'll go in. So that's basically how you will do that. And then solving yellow cross is going to work actually the exact same way. So there's no faster way of solving the yellow cross. So you're just going to do the second edge the same way and solving the yellow cross the exact same way. Now there is one other thing I probably should have mentioned earlier, is the fact that when you have the dot, you can just do a front move like the line algorithm, but you actually don't need to put this back and then do a lowercase front move. You actually can just go ahead and then slice the middle. Now this you probably already knew, but I'm just saying this for everyone who did not know. Now solving for yellow corners, when we have to position them, what we can do is we can notice that these two need to swap. So what we'll do is we'll just do what we do before. 1, 2, 3, turn face, 1, 2, 3. But instead, we don't need to do that last U move because then we have to reposition it. So it's really pointless to just do that last U move when rather we can just have it to where it's already where they all belong. This does help save time. The next case is when you have these, you have to reposition them. Now, normally what you would do is you would use the right algorithm to position them just like that. Well, if you prefer using the left algorithm, you actually can use it. Let me show you an example of that. So for instance, we have these corners here that all need to be swapped around, and they're all where they belong. So all we need to do is hold the one that we want underneath the left slot, and then we can use the left algorithm instead. It doesn't honestly matter which one you use. Whichever one you prefer, then use that one instead. Now, this is when you get to learn more ways of solving this a lot faster, and some of you probably have already known this. So, as we can tell, we need to hold from this side and perform our usual algorithm. But instead, we're going to create two new algorithms, which are called the reverse right algorithm and the reverse left algorithm. So basically, it's the exact same thing, except backwards. So this will help save us some time, because if we perform the right algorithm 6 times, it'll reloop the puzzle to where you left off. So because we're performing it 5 times, if we can use the reverse of the right algorithm once, we won't have to perform the right algorithm 5 times. Rather, we just perform the reverse right algorithm once. So what I mean by this is, so for instance, we will do the right algorithm and we'll do the left algorithm like we do before. But instead of doing the right algorithm twice, you're going to do U, R, U prime, R prime. So that's the reverse right algorithm, and then you're going to perform the reverse left algorithm, which is U prime, left prime, U, left, and then there you go. The cube will be solved. This step really does save a lot of time. Now, sometimes you'll have to perform the regular algorithm for swapping them around twice. And an easy way to identify whether or not you have to is you look on the right side of your solved face, and you'll notice that the piece that you're moving around is green. And now the reason what makes this important is the fact that the piece is going across to here. This cycle is going to move this to here. So which means you move that to that, and then that to that. That's how you know you'll have to perform it twice. So if this color piece belongs to this side, then that means you have to perform it twice. But if it belongs to this side, you only have to perform it once. The next common case to have is this one here when you have 4 that all need to swap. Now there are some times when you do this that you have to do it 3 times, and there are some times you only have to do it 2. So to make sure that you only have to do it 2 times, you're going to hold it so that your puzzle is like this. Now what I mean by like this is that you'll have 2 similar colors that these 2 need to swap, and then these 2 need to swap. So you're going to hold it that you're holding one that needs to swap, and then where you want to put it into is onto the right side. So not like this, but rather like this. So the way to do that, this algorithm would be the exact same way as before. So right algorithm, left algorithm, reverse right algorithm, and then reverse left algorithm. From there, you will notice that this piece does not need to go into here, which means we know we only have to do it once, and then we can just perform the way we would before. And then this way, we don't have to perform that algorithm 3 times, we only have to perform it 2. The next common case is to have this right here. And an easy way to solve this case is a completely different algorithm. And this is an algorithm that when you learn it, you're going to be using this no matter how much of an advanced method you use, you're always going to need to know this algorithm. And this algorithm is M2, which M2 means slice the middle, U, M2, U2, M2, U, M2. And that'll instantly solve the cube, and you won't have to perform anything twice. This algorithm is only used for this case for swapping these 2 and then these 2. So keep that in mind, because there are lots of times this algorithm will pop up in the future and is very useful for knowing this algorithm. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this new tutorial for 3x3. I realize you're probably hoping for a bit more, like, okay, well, why can't I solve it like under a minute or stuff like that? Well, don't worry, I will be releasing more as we go, but you honestly do need to practice a lot. It's all practice. I could be still using this really slow cube and still get it under a minute with this method. It's honestly just practice that means everything. And yes, if you just spend a lot of time focusing on it, you will get fast. So don't depend on the method, don't depend on the cube. It's really all about you practicing that's going to get you to become fast. So thank you all so much for watching. If this video was helpful, please hit that like button down below and hit the subscribe button and those bell notifications to be notified when new upcoming videos are coming out. For there will be some more coming out very soon. So thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all in my next video.